It all starts here. This is my family. My two brothers, my mom, and my dad. All amazing people. Without them, I would be nothing because they gave me life and they support my life too. And when I told them that I was leaving them for a year to embark on a quest of self-discovery, they supported me on that one as well. Oh, and then there are the dogs. Who could forget the dogs? During my high school years, two little-known queens from faraway lands came into my life. Both were on ambassadorial quests for their country. They were also seeking truth and personal identity on their journeys. This is Queen Tatiana from the land of Suomi. Her contagious sense of humor and lust for life inspired me to live frivolously when necessary. And this is Judith. From the faraway land of Die andere Welt, Judith and I connected very quickly when she arrived in my homeland. It seems as if destiny drew us together. When we found out we had much more in common than the shared knowledge of her native tongue of andere Weltisch, the Queen and I formed a friendship that would later cross international borders. Alas, the Queen and I fell into a deep love, but due to internal complications and codes of ethics, our love was strongly suppressed.
We're having a time of our lives. We're lost in a cruel paradise.
Judith spent most of her ambassadorial year at my side and began to teach me about regality and the search for personal identity. But before we knew it, our year together had ended abruptly. She left me instilled, however, with a desire for more. I needed to do what she did and what Tatiana did. I needed to find more of myself, and I wanted to do it just like they did. I wanted to become a globetrotter. Friends encouraged me to get the hell away from home, and I was sick of the domestic turmoil anyways. So I packed my bags and I left. You know, in order to evaluate the strength of my ties, I discovered I had to first sever them. When I stepped off the airplane, I found myself in Die andere Welt, a land of discovery and opportunity. I was taken to the province of Kiospa and adopted by 3 royal families with whom I boarded for the year. They each took me as a family member, and through them was where I first discovered parts of my identity. Being removed from America showed me exactly what it was to be American. With each day, a new facet of my identity would shine for me as if I was seeing who I was for the first time all over again. In this environment, I thrived and effortlessly became a new person. It was like starting over and throwing out all preconceived conventions from my past life and doing it in a way I wish I would have the first time. I stretched myself. I tried on many masks just to see how they fit me, only to take them back off and replace them with another. While I was abroad, I let my hair down apathetically and I walked the line. Fortunately for me, Die andere Welt borders many lands, which made traveling while my year abroad easy. Traveling is where I really came alive. During the year, I visited places I had only seen in pictures and in dreams. I went to places deep inside the earth and visited places which tower high over the earth. I visited homes of the famous, Renaissance artists, kings, queens, you name it. Hell, I even strolled through Napoleon's apartment like I own the damn place. I got to imagine myself inside a painting as I crossed the Japanese bridge in Monet's gardens. I took a trip to a very green land and replaced water with the local stout for the weekend and gained a few pounds in the process. I stood at a wall that divided the hearts and minds of millions of people. I saw rolling green hills and I smelled the crisp blue air of the coast. I was on top of the world and I felt alive. I tried to take a little something from every place I went. Curiosity kept me wanting more. A big part of my desire to travel came from the feelings new settings always seem to conjure in my soul. Every place has its own smells, sights, textures, sounds, barometric pressures, and so on. All of these factors help create a vibe, which then later becomes a haunting memory, beckoning my soul for more of a similar stimulation. And that vibe becomes a part of me, and a part of who I am, and it lives on through me. I wouldn't have been able to absorb the regional energy in the way that I did without the catalysts around me. Other travelers my age on the same ambassadorial quest. They came from all over the world, Australia, India, Brazil, Bahamas, and they became my best friends and my travel partners. Together, we crossed borders, contemplated the meaning of life, partied, sang, drank, made music. We learned new languages together, collaborated, encouraged each other, corrected each other. We danced. We learned from each other, struggled to understand each other, tried to figure out what made the world so bad, tried to figure out what made the world worth living in. We were each other's mentors and muses, and we were in love. Of course, along the way, we also did some pretty ridiculous things in the name of fun. Some of those things much more ridiculous than the others. When I wasn't traveling, I focused a lot of my energy on my development as an artist, and took up a small teaching job at a local school. Later that year, I was able to join my friend again, Queen Judith, at her palatial estate to collaborate on an art project we would later become famous for. Pick up any Andere Weltisch book of modern art, and you're sure to find references to us in the index. It's inevitable that we ended up there, if you think about it. After all, we're all connected to everything anyway. Just as it had happened to Judith on her year by my side, my year abroad ended all too quickly. I found myself boarding the plane once more after what felt like only a whirlwind of weeks. But my journey didn't end on my departure from the Andere Welt. Since that point, I've been able to travel in my own world differently with the cultural baggage that I picked up along the way. I came back feeling like a more defined version of myself. My creativity peaked, so I concentrated for a while after my return on preserving my friends and family through photographic portraiture. I also enrolled myself in an art school in Chicago. The story doesn't end there, because Queen Judith and I still keep in contact and she has since returned to visit. My circle of friends hasn't diminished, it has only grown. After returning to the US, I met plenty of fantastic people that I believe belong in my life for a reason. People whom I love and people who have become my life's travel partners.